Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm guessing you guys have been following the whole Illuminati and OzMedia thing, right? It seemed like it was over, but now everyone online is talking about it.
Yeah, it's been a pretty big story online, hasn't it?
Like everyone's got an opinion, and this video by this Angelina Scoff lady, and this legal document that's like resurfaced.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna go into all that and try and figure out like what's true and what's just like people making stuff up. And I think it'll be interesting to see how all this stuff works when it happens online, you know?
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's like a whole different world now with how these things play out.
So, for anyone who's like been living under a rock, OzMedia sued Illuminati, that's Blair and her companies.
Right.
And he was saying that she like mismanaged money and all kinds of like really bad business practices.
And it's important to remember that it wasn't just the lawsuit. He actually also filed what's called a counterclaim. It's basically like a lawsuit in response to the original one.
Oh, so like he's suing her and she's suing him back.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Makes it a lot more complicated.
Yeah, a little bit. So this counterclaim is what everyone's talking about, right?
Right. It's from like August of last year, 2023.
Okay.
But it just like popped up online again. And so people are saying that means maybe the case isn't really over.
But wait, they settled out of court, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. There was a non-disclosure agreement and everything.
So is this like a new lawsuit?
No. It's the same one. It's just that this old document is back.
So like it's not new information.
Yeah. Imagine you find a box of old photos in your attic. They're the same photos they've always been.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Just that now you're looking at them again.
Yeah. Okay, but hold on. What about this whole thing with the Trellis Law website?
Oh, yeah.
It like updated or something, and people think that means the case is like active again.
Yeah, I saw that too. It's just a routine update they do. It's like when you update software on your computer.
So nothing's changed. Just the website got updated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the timing was like perfect for people to get confused.
Right, when everyone's talking about this counterclaim thing.
Yeah, it's easy to see how people got the wrong idea.
That's so crazy how things can get like twisted around online.
Yeah, you really got to be careful about what you read online and like where the information is coming from.
Okay, so everyone's also freaking out about all the redacted stuff in this document.
Oh yeah, all the blacked out parts. Like what are they hiding?
Right.
Well, usually that's to protect private information like financial stuff or personal things that aren't really important to the case itself.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
It's not about being sneaky, it's just about protecting people's privacy.
Okay, so we should probably like not try and guess what's under the black boxes.
Right. But there's still lots to talk about, even in the parts we can see.
Like what?
Well, OzMedia made some pretty serious accusations about like how Illuminati was managing money and how she treated employees.
And even though they settled, it seems like these accusations are still out there, right?
Exactly. Angelina Scoff talked about that in her video. She made a really good point.
What was that?
Just because a lawsuit is settled doesn't mean that the things that were said just disappear, you know?
Ooh, that's true.
It makes you think about the whole concept of accountability online.
Totally. And like, how do you even know what to believe anymore?
It's tricky, right? But that's why we're here, to try and make sense of it all.
Right. So we've talked about the lawsuit, the website, update the redacted parts, but we still need to talk about what OzMedia actually said about how Illuminati was running things.
Right, that's the juicy stuff.
Exactly. So when we come back, we'll dig into all that. Okay, so let's talk about what OzMedia is actually claiming here in this counterclaim.
Right.
I mean, specifically about the money stuff, like how she was managing the company's finances.
Yeah, this is where it gets kind of wild.
Because, like, she built her whole brand on being transparent and honest.
Right, and OzMedia is claiming that she was using company money for personal stuff.
Like, what kind of stuff?
Like fancy cars and designer clothes and jewelry, that kind of thing.
Seriously?
That's what he's saying in the doc. At the same time, he's also claiming that her employees weren't getting paid on time.
Hold on. So she's buying like luxury stuff, but her employees aren't getting paid.
That's the allegation.
That's pretty messed up if it's true.
Yeah, it definitely raises some ethical questions. Like, if the company can afford all that luxury stuff, why aren't the employees getting paid?
Right. It's like she's putting herself before the people who work for her.
Yeah, and that's a big deal when you're talking about someone like Illuminati, who has such a huge following.
It's like she's supposed to be this role model for young people.
Right, and this whole thing kind of makes you wonder about the dark side of being a famous YouTuber.
Totally. Like, what goes on behind the scenes that we don't see?
Right, all the business stuff and the relationships with employees and everything.
And if someone's willing to, like, exploit their employees for their own personal gain.
It makes you question everything they stand for.
Exactly. So even if the lawsuit is over, these allegations are still out there and people are talking about them.
Right, and it's going to be interesting to see how this affects her career in the long run.
Like, will brands still want to work with her? Will people still watch her videos?
It's hard to say for sure, but it's definitely possible that this could damage her reputation.
I mean, we've seen it happen before with other YouTubers.
Yeah, once that trust is broken, it can be really hard to get it back.
But on the other hand, some people might might not care about this at all.
Right. They might still love her content and be willing to overlook this whole thing.
I guess it depends on the person.
And how much they value things like honesty and integrity.
And how much they're willing to separate the artist from the art.
Exactly. It's a complicated situation.
Totally. Angelina Scoff also talked about the non-disclosure agreement, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, yeah. What did she say?
Well, she basically said that even though we know the lawsuit was settled, we don't know what really happened behind closed doors.
Right, because of the NDA.
And that it makes it hard to judge the situation fairly.
Yeah, because we're only getting one side of the story.
And it makes you wonder what else is going on that we don't know about.
Totally. It's like a big mystery.
So what do we do with all this information?
Well, I think it's important to be aware of the allegations and to think critically about them.
But also to remember that we don't have all the facts.
Right, and that everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
So basically, we need to wait and see how this all plays out.
And to have some empathy for everyone involved.
Because this is a real-life situation with real people and real consequences.
Exactly. It's not just some drama for our entertainment.
So when we come back, we'll talk about what this all means for Illuminauti's future and for the future of the creator economy as a whole. Okay, so we've talked about all the allegations and the settlement and all that, but the big question is, like, what happens now? What does this mean for Illuminauti's career going forward?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say for sure. The internet never forgets,
Right. Like, all this stuff is out there for everyone to see. And it's not like she's a regular celebrity with, like, a publicist.
Yeah, it's different for YouTubers. They're way more directly connected to their audience.
And everyone's watching all this play out in real time.
Exactly. It's like this constant back and forth between the creator and their fans.
And, like, some people might be totally turned off by all this and stop watching her videos.
Yeah, some people might feel like she betrayed their trust.
But then other people might be, like, super supportive and defend her no matter what.
Right. They might see her as the victim in all this.
And then there's everyone in between.
Yeah, the people who are trying to figure out what to think.
Like, trying to balance the allegations with the content they enjoy.
It's a tough spot.
Angelina Scoff said that some people might keep watching her videos, but, like, with a more critical eye.
Oh, yeah. Like, they're not just blindly accepting everything she says anymore.
Right. Like, they're more aware of the whole situation and the fact that she's not perfect.
Yeah, it's like we're all realizing that even these big YouTubers are just human beings.
With flaws and problems, just like everyone else.
Exactly. And this whole thing really highlights the responsibility that creators have to be honest and transparent with their audience.
Especially when they have so much influence over young people.
It's a big deal.
And I think this case could actually be a good thing in the long run.
Oh, how so?
Like, it could start more conversations about accountability in the creator economy.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like a wake-up call for the whole industry.
And for viewers, too. Like, we need to be more critical of what we're watching and who we're supporting.
Right, we can't just blindly follow someone because they're entertaining.
We have to think about their values and how they treat other people.
And hold them accountable when they mess up.
So this whole Illuminati and OzMedia thing has been a wild ride.
Yeah, lots of twists and turns.
I think we've learned a lot from it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
About the creator economy, about accountability, about how to be responsible consumers of online content.
And I think this is just the beginning of a much bigger conversation.
Yeah, this is something we're going to be talking about for a long time.
So what do you guys think? Has this whole situation changed how you view Illuminaughtii? Has it changed how you view other creators? Let us know in the comments.
And that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.